Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Heather Hill Farm, and in today's video we're going to be doing more getting ready for winter and getting some odd jobs done around the farm that I've been putting in the long finger. I also got my hair cut, which I was putting that one off for a long time, so it's good to get that done. So let's get into it. I'm just setting up a little pen here to get the sheep into. Tomorrow morning I'm going to bring in the sheep. The lambs are going to go to get slaughtered, and before ewes they got to go to meet the ram. So I'm just making a little pen here. I'm going to make a little runway in for I've just made up a pen with my sheep hurdles here. I'm going to use some poly wire to make a run into them, and then once I get them in, we'll get them loaded up and get them out of here. The sheep are in the trailer and these lambs are going off to the butchers. I'm just getting the butcher to slaughter them. I'm going to break them down myself because it's only 4 and we're 3 families in the farm, so we're going to keep this lamb for ourselves. We're not going to sell it, so I can break it down myself. These ewes are in great condition. The lambs are in pretty good condition for horned lambs as well. These are just ewe lambs, they're a set of twins, so they're not going to be ridiculously heavy either. These guys were quite awkward to get in, these buggers are mad. But thankfully Jessie has been doing a bit of training and she helped me get them in here. Keeping sheep's all fine and well. When you're moving them onto fresh grass every day, it's like trying to convince kids to take sweets. There's no issue, but when you try to do something out of the ordinary with them, that's when sheep are a nightmare. Anybody that keeps sheep will know either you need a good dog or get out of sheep. So that's why I'm starting with Jessie to train her up to be a sheepdog. I'm just here with Jessie, and Jessie's about 1.5 years old now. She's a bit old to be starting as a sheepdog. She's a wee bit old to be starting as a sheepdog, but she's really clever, really switched on. It's hard for her up the farm because we've got goats in there. Goats are very stubborn, you need a really strong dog. So I've just brought her down here to my dad's farm to start giving her a bit of training. And how we start them, my dad's been training dogs all my life growing up. We've had dogs, teams of dogs. You can hear them in the background, there's still teams of dogs here. And we generally start the young dogs in a round ring. I haven't been working dogs for years, so I'm doing a lot of learning too. But we generally want some relatively calm sheep. These are pretty good, they're used to being worked with the dog. And we're just in a round ring. It's about, it's maybe 10 meters in diameter. And it just gets the sheep going round and round in circles and gets the dog to start into that natural hunting instinct. This is Jessie's first day in here now. I've been practicing a bit up at home at the farm, but it's hard to really get a nice setup like this. So let's get her going. So I just want to, I really should be on the opposite side of the sheep to Jessie. Come by. Come by. And I can't get just far enough away. Come by. Away. And all it is here is practice, and the dog has to learn. She naturally knows how to balance the sheep out and where their flight zone is. If you read some of Temple Grandin's work, it's all about animal flight zones. All pack hunting predators instinctively know this, and I'm not moving fast enough, but you can see how she's balancing the sheep out here. Steady now, steady Jess. Away. And all I'm really doing here is letting the dog get used to working with the sheep. I do say to her sometimes, when I want her to go to the left, I'll say come by, and when we go to the right, I'd say away. But I'm not really trying to put commands on her. Just letting her naturally figure out where she can turn the sheep. And really, I try to have her on the opposite side of the sheep to me. I'm just not moving fast enough because I got my camera on. But I'm really happy with how she's doing. But she is an older dog. Like some dogs will start when they're maybe 6 months old. So she's really old in comparison to them. But the reason why I want to teach her, I do need a sheepdog, but I want to have her more purpose in life. And she really is a full-blown sheepdog. You know, that's in her DNA. So if that's another service we can add to the farm as well, get her working. But who knows. One thing about working with an older dog like this, well, Jess, she's got a great temperament. Normally when you bring young dogs in here, they're just hanging off sheep, and it's a bit of wrestling for a little while. This is the first time I've ever tried to really work her in anything, and she's doing great. Come by, Jess, come by. And I'm just going to keep at her here. I think People who are really good at training sheepdogs, for me, I think it's two things: patience and repetition. Just constantly at it, teaching them, working on it, teaching them new things, how not to make bad habits, and just constant work, constant all the time. And so if I'm going to do this with Jess over the winter, we need to just be consistent at it and build on our learning. Okay, let's see if we can get a bigger circle going. Steady. Hop. See if she can get them moving there now. And all she's really doing is working on her herd instinct. Although I think she'd drive them pretty easy, but she's got no sides, so it'll be difficult for her. Good girl. Okay, sit, Jess. Jess, lie down. Jess, lie down. She's getting a little bit tired, so it should be easier to stop her now. I've been at this for about half an hour with her. Sit, Jess, sit. Yeah, you're getting it. Come back. 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 Wait. 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 Hup. Hup, 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 hup. Wait. That'll do you. So he's just working the dog and whistles now, so the dog knows which whistles mean which. Just going to try and put them through that gate up there. Jesse, it's okay. And he's through the gate. And now he got another gate further up and turn them. Bring them back through it. Dad uses this dog in trials, and when you're trialing you got to try them in straight lines. And so that's what he's practicing there. And they're going out of shot, but he'll bring them back down now in a second. And he's got the sheep way up the top of the field. He's going to practice a pickup here. So the dog's got to run up the side of the field. Jesse, hey! Here he's practicing a pickup. Some sheep are way off up there. He's coming pretty hard. It's a small field, this, to be fair to the dog. And he's got them under control now. Just goes to show you how. Jess, settle down. There's a different bitch, this one. I'm not sure how old this dog is. Not as easy going as the last guy, but she knows her job. Anyway, I think it's a bit tighter to the sheep than the last guy. The last guy is a real nice distance. Very tight. Should make a good stock dog. That I like that. The stock dog. And you're working in round yards and stuff. Sorry, I had to go get Jess there, but I got them in. This is our lambs back from the butcher, and they're stiff now. I'm going to hang them for about 7 days. These lambs are still pretty young. They were like April lambs, so they're not that old, so they don't really need to hang for that long. My understanding is the older the animal is, the more aging it needs, so these are pretty young. I think most butchers typically hang lamb for 10 days. I just think it's not necessary. Some beautiful back fat in these lambs. This is all grass-fed fat, and there was two smaller guys, this one and this one. They were twins. I think they were just about 30 kilos live weight. They're like 15 kilos hanging, and these two were bigger. They were close. One was like 38, the other was 37 live weight, and that leaves them hanging at like 18, 19 kilos. I have the wrote down somewhere. I need to dig it out, but with the horn lambs, it's quite harder to get them to put on the bigger weights. With the traditional horn sheep, it's a lot like standard weight of a lamb going to the factory now in Ireland is about 45 kilos live weight. These guys need to be a lot older than they were to hit that weight. So I think what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to cross the horn Joes with maybe a Texel ram, just to get a bit more meat genetics in them, but still keep the hardiness of the mammoth, and see how that goes. Those guys are in the walk-in chiller, which is really handy to have for jobs like this. Just what I should have said there is, you do have to be very careful when crossbreeding horn Joes with Texels or Suffolks, that you don't pick a ridiculously big ram and then have problems with lambing. So it's that balancing act where you get something that'll lamb easy, but also will put on a bit more meat. I'm just trying to winterize our winch here. What I like to do for that is I first of all pull out all the wire, because this wire would have been on the spool under tension, so it just takes the tension off it. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some bar and chainsaw oil, and just give the this is a synthetic rope, which means it's all little steel fibers. And Jesse, go over there, you're getting in my way. Good girl. So this is synthetic rope, and what that means is it's all just steel fibers, all plaited or woven together. And I used to use a solid steel wire, but this is way better. It's way more pliable. It goes on the drum much easier. With a steel wire, there's a chance that it'll bind on the outside of the drum. There's no such chance with this. So I'm just going to put some oil on it, stop it from getting any rust on there, and then I'm just going to very lightly wind it onto the drum for the winter time. And the battery's fully charged, and that's it, ready to go. That's one other job I need to address on this. I had a little rope around here which basically stopped this from hitting the ground, and the rope broke over time, and as a result this was hitting the ground. Sometimes I've got some mud jammed in here, so I'm going to take this off and clean it out, oil it up, and replace this here either with another rope or maybe something better. And voila! Okay, get the hitch freed up, oiled up, and ready to go. And just checking, I don't have any chain in stock. This is kind of suitable for this. So, actually, maybe I'll have another look, because I might have some in the brooder that might work. I need a hex head to take these guys off. Well, okay. We can cut it on this. Sorry guys, my knees in the way. I'm just checking here where's a nice height. I think I can cut it on this link here. So I go there and bend that out. Take that link off and we'll put it in there. And we're going to spin, I need to widen this out a little bit. To widen the link, I just grab it with the nips and take a flathead screwdriver and twist it around a little in here. That gives me the little bit I need. Right. And now I'm going to go back there. I'm going to do the same on the other side just to double the strength, but you can see over here my knees aren't in the way. The ball is just kept off the ground. So I'll do the same on this side, and that should hopefully be a good job done. I think that's going to be a solid job. And I'll stop this getting stuck in the ground. And I just see one more thing. I have a bolt in here that's missing the nut. I'm going to pop a nut on there. That's the scarl ready for winter. All that's left now is to probably store it in the white container, and we'll put it in there, and that's it away for winter. If you want to see how I built this, if you look back in our video, there's over 100 videos now on our YouTube channel. of all how we build stuff and how we do stuff in the farm, and you'll see on there how we actually built this here winch system. So check that out. These are old fishing lines. Killybegs is 10 minutes in the road from me, and there's a few companies there that do nets. They mend nets, they do new nets, and if you're a fisherman and you're pulling, you know, 100,000 euros worth of gear, you're not going to take a chance on a rope that might be slightly tired. These ropes are totally fine for me, so we get them to take away, and they're really good. And again, when you're farming, you're trying to make the most of other people's trash and turn it into your treasure when you're starting out, and it certainly was the case here. We had to be very inventive, and we're very lucky to have a whole pile of different industries around us that we can utilise some of their waste streams. It's almost the end of November now. It's time for these tomatoes to go. There's still loads of tomatoes on here, but we've taken all the tomatoes that we need. I planted way too many tomato plants, so I want to get these out and onto the compost pile. And hopefully the compost, there is a lot of tomato seeds here, hopefully the compost will get up to a good temperature and basically knock them out, so when we use our compost we're not going to be getting loads of tomatoes sprouting up in it. I've just got these guys tied up with it's like a nylon string, and I've just put a quick release on them so I can find it. That's good. And when I'm taking them down, I just lay them down, and I just got to find where the pin is in the ground, and it's just a simple pin with a pull hitch. I pull that off, and then I can pull the string through from here. I'll save these for next year, and I should really get, there's really cool tomato hooks you can get. I should really get myself a couple of them every year. I say I will, and then comes to plant the tomato seeds, I've never got them, and then I just pull out the root ball, and that's the root system the tomato plant has been living off. And now these haven't been watered for, I dried them out a little bit, but all that'll go into a compost. I could take all these tomatoes and throw them in with the chickens, but I don't want to. That'll end up me spreading tomato seeds all through my compost. I'll put these guys on one side of the compost pile, so I'll know that's the compost. There's probably got a lot of tomato seeds in it, and I'll maybe use that for mulching trees or berry bushes, where I know tomatoes will just die off if they germinate. If I feed all these to my chickens, the seeds will go through the chickens' manure and it'll be spread all through my compost next year. Well, technically 2 years from now compost, so that's why I'm not going to do that. Now that's opened up the polytunnel lovely. It's a nice big space again. Still haven't put my goats or sheep in yet, but the pen's always there for them. The weather's still pretty warm, so we don't need that just yet. I bought this tunnel right when I moved to the farm here, and this tunnel it's 50 foot long by 30 foot wide. That's 1,500 foot, and I paid 1,200 euros for this tunnel. I bought it second hand on Done Deal, which is a trading app here in Ireland, and I literally took it down and put it up the way it is now. So it cost me 80 cents a square foot, and you can't go wrong with coverage with dry storage area of 80 cents a square foot in my mind. It's great to have, keep stuff dry and out of the weather, and I've actually got it in a pretty exposed place. It gets, when we get some storms, it gets a lot of blowing, and as long as it's closed up, it's been totally fine. I believe it's due to the fact that it's flexible. It's not a fixed solid structure, so it actually flexes with the storm. It's still here. It's been here for, we're going into our third winter with it here now. It's been through some big storms, so I'm totally happy with it.